If you're watching this after my chain of gold video, yes, I ended the video and immediately started this one because I just want to like hurry up and start this video. But I'm going to be doing a vlog for Crescent City. Luckily for you guys watching this one, you don't have to see me wait all day for the book to come in the mail. So I already got the book. I didn't open the book when obviously I opened it, but I didn't like look at the end papers or anything like that. I seen the dust jacket and then I seen the end papers because I was watching someone else's vlog and they showed it, and I wanted it all to be a surprise to me. But we're gonna see if it's a map in here. I believe it's a map, and then we're just gonna look at it together for the first time. So, well, for me for the first time, probably not for you, but this is the end. I like this cover. Like, I like the red and the yellow and the white. I don't really like the way it looks here. Like, I love it and I love the art most definitely. And then we have under the dust jacket, which I'm a little salty because UK people, if you go to her tour, you get like the full cover in red with the moon, and I want that so bad. But oh, this is pretty. And this is the map. I actually love this. Angel's Gate, the Dead Gate, the Bone Quarter, Moonwood. I love that. The Old Square. This is just one map or two? Oh, it's just one. It's called, I cannot pronounce that. I don't know what that is. But I love this. Like, I love this map. I low-key wish I could color it, because y'all know I love to color my maps. But also at the same time, I don't want to. But this is so freaking... This is the prettiest map I've ever seen. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, what the heck? I've already read... These are Bible pages. These... Honey, what... I already read chapter 1 because NetGalley was giving... That wasn't that many pages. NetGalley was giving out, like, not giving out, NetGalley was giving, like, if you go on their website, you could have got the first 5 chapters simple. And I was like, I'm gonna get ahead of the game and read the first 5 chapters. And then I was like, I don't really want to do that. Also, I got my bookmark. I'm not gonna annotate this like I annotated the Shadowhunter Chronicles, just because I'm not too sure if I'm gonna love this book all the way. Like, I hope I do, obviously, and I want to, and I'm pretty sure I am going to. But with Chain of Gold, I already like love this series. Like, I love the Shadowhunter Chronicles so much that I knew I was gonna love that book. I'm just not too sure about this one, so I don't want to write in my book and then not like it. But as we get further to the end, I might write in it. Who knows? Okay, listen, man. I just woke up, so the surf is still on. Okay, I didn't just wake up. I've been up for a good hour now, but I have not gotten ready yet. Therefore, the scarf stays. Anyway, so last night I read literally one chapter of House of Earth and Blood. I don't know why, I just haven't been in the mood to it. I texted Mika last night. I was like, please motivate me to read this, because she read it. She also has a video on how to read Sarah J Maas books, so I'll link it down below, or I'll get fancy and put it in the cards above. You'll just have to see when I upload it. But you should definitely check it out. She already read Crescent City. She loved it, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And she's like, oh, I can't wait to like see your thoughts and stuff, and I want voicemails and all that stuff. And I'm like, sis, I need to be motivated to read this, because right now I'm watching Degrassi, so I kind of care about Degrassi more, you know what I mean? So she was like, read it now or I'll fight you. And I'm like, I said motivate. And she's like, okay, like after, like just read the first 5 chapters, like after chapter 5 it gets really, really good. And it's not that it's boring, I just don't feel like reading it. I think that Chain of Gold really not put me in a reading slump, but I just need to take a few days off to read it. But I really want to get this vlog up by next week, so I really want to get this book done and just, you know, have it up and just, you know. So I'm gonna try to read it. I have to be to work at 5 and I start getting ready at 4:30, so that gives me like an hour and a half to read. So we'll see how far I get, and I'll like update you guys. I have to hurry up because my grandma is on her way. And so today we will be multitasking. Oh no, I got makeup all on my pants. So basically, I'm on chapter 4 of Crescent City. Haven't gotten very far. I know I said I want to take my time with this book, but I did not mean that much time. So nothing's really happened. It's just like a lot of world building and getting to know the characters, which I know that Bryce is our main character. I know that Bryce is supposed to be with some guy named Hunt, but there's this one guy named Connor, and he's like a wolf, and I love him. I told myself before I read this not to get emotionally attached to any of the characters because the description has a big spoiler in it. So if you haven't read this book, I highly suggest do not read the description. Like, if you haven't read the description yet, you haven't read this book, do not read the description. It is a huge spoiler in the description. And now that I know that, I am mentally preparing myself for anything and everything. So I'm trying not to get emotionally attached, which is so hard because I really like his character. She's very alpha wolf, which that's what I'm reading Sarah J. Maas for. Sorry. I also love the urban fantasy part of the story. Like, I don't know why, but I mean, Akatar was a little bit of urban fantasy. Not really, because it was a different world in general, but a little bit. Like, it was a little bit. And I just love urban fantasy because it's like, it takes part in the real world, but also has like fantasy aspects to it. And it's like, what more could you wish for? It's like contemporary fantasy, and I'm loving it. I love how modern it is. I think that's why I love urban fantasy so much, because it's modern, because you get cell phones and laptops, and my grandma's here. What the hell are we gonna do now? I couldn't even finish my discussion, but I'll be back later, and hopefully I would have read to chapter 5, but I don't know, I'm rushing. Okay, gotta go. I just got home from work. It's 10 o'clock. I want to say I read maybe, I don't even know. I got to chapter 6, which is like 78 pages into the book. It's not very far. I got me some milk and cookies, so I'm going to be eating that. I feel like in my vlogs, I'm always like eating something, like at least in my last vlog and now in this one too. But I love my milk and I love my cookies, and you guys can't bully me for it because I will bully you back. So I've only read 2 chapters the last time we talked, and honestly, I was preparing myself for the plot twist that happens in like the first 5 chapters, and I was like texting Mika, and Mika was like, "Oh my gosh, like what chapter you on?" I'm like, she's like, "Oh, how are you feeling?" I was like, "It's meh," and she's like, "What chapter am I on?" Chapter 5. She's like, "What? That's the good part." And I'm like, "Well, I read the description, so I already know what was gonna happen." So if you read the description, it's not really a spoiler, so I'm being very vague about it. So if you haven't read the description, please, I already said this in my vlog, but please do not read the description, because I feel like that will hit you better than if you already know what's going to happen, because the description like gives a big plot point away. There are 2 huge elephants in the room. Let's just discuss them. First is, yes, I cut my own bangs today. I usually give myself bangs like either in the fall to celebrate fall, or in the spring to celebrate spring. I wouldn't say spring is my favorite season. I really don't care about spring at all, but I love summer, and spring just means I hate winter. I really hate winter. It's my least favorite time of the year. Like, my depression is usually at its peak. It's cold all the time. I can't wear cute outfits. I can't wear skirts. I don't have to shave my legs though, so I will give winter that. Once you get a point for that. But yeah, so spring usually just means that the cold days are over. So I just cut bangs to celebrate spring, and I got a new bookshelf. So yeah, I got a second small bookshelf, and I'm really happy. I I love it. I wanted this one to be more so my adult books, but I'm gonna probably move these down here. I don't really have as many adult books as I thought I did. But anyways, here's what I came here for. So, Crescent City. I am on page 310. So I'm this far. Not very far, not halfway there, but I'm not halfway there. So, I don't know. It's like it's a lot of world building, and particularly I don't really think that I mean, obviously I care for world building, but it's just like there's nothing else going on, and I'm just kind of bored. There's not really a lot I mean, obviously there's a huge overarching plot, but other than that, there's not like, you know, many plots that you would think you would find in an 800-page book. I don't really care about the characters. I do care about the characters, but they haven't like this is gonna sound so weird, but usually when I like a character, I get this feeling, and when I read this, I just haven't gotten that feeling yet. Even when I read couples, I just get a feeling, and I just go based on my feeling, and I know when I get that feeling that character, I just love that character. And there are scenes that I like, and I am starting to like the characters. Like, I'm starting to like Bryce and Hunt, and I'm starting to like them separately and together, but I haven't gotten that feeling yet. And so if I don't get that feeling, then I'm just never gonna care about them. I don't want to go get the book because we know what book I'm talking about. I've held it up a million times in this video, so there's really no need for me to get the book. It's currently like 3 a.m. It's Tuesday. I'm not gonna finish this book by tomorrow. Like, I'm not, and I kind of knew that. Now the question is, will I ever finish this book? I am so bored out of my mind. I'm halfway through this book, and I have half the mind to DNF it and just never pick up a book ever again. Like, not another book. Like, get rid of all of my books and just never read again. Like, this book makes me want to never read again. Like, not even just simple like instructions. I don't want to read the word YouTube. Like, it's so boring, and so much, like, I understand world building and all that stuff, but I am so bored out of my mind. I don't care about the characters. I'm really trying, but I don't. Sarah J Maas and I like Sarah J Maas. I do. Like, I really love the Throne of Glass series. I like Akatar, but I really like Throne of Glass a lot more. And so I was watching like a couple of reviews, and they were saying like, if you like Sarah J Maas's other books, you'll definitely like this. Like, if you're a Sarah J Maas fan, like, this will be a book that you like. But it's like, I'm not liking it. Like, how many times Sarah J Maas has to mention that Bryce is hot is so unbelievably annoying. It seriously gets on my nerves how much Sarah J Maas has to mention that Bryce is just like so hot. So she's just so hot, and she's just such a baddie, and she's just such a badass. And it's like, okay, we get it. And I mean, she does a lot of like showing and not telling, so I do appreciate that, because I know a lot of times with books, when they have like a badass female character, they do a lot of showing instead of telling, which was something that I had an issue with Throne of Glass. But I'm just so bored. I even wanted to take a break and just read. Like, if I don't finish Crescent City, I'm literally gonna put it down and never pick it back up again. And I'm halfway through it, so there's no point of me just not finishing this book. I don't want to read it anymore. It's so boring. Yeah, that's where I'm at in life right now. So I should be crying because the plots are so good, but I'm crying because I'm bored out of my mind. I hate it here. I'm about 200. Whoa. I'm about 620 pages into the book. Oh, 630. Yeah, 630 pages into the book. Far, I'm almost done. I think I'm like 70% through the book. I'm not crying anymore. I don't absolutely hate it. I still see it right now being a 3-star. The plot twist did happen. Like, around 500 pages is when I personally started to enjoy it. Nothing really happened, but I just found like Bryce's mom was introduced, so you got to see the relationship between Bryce and her mom, and I really enjoyed that. And then this really like intense scene, not intense, but there's like a sexual scene between Bryce and Hunt that happens, and I thought that was really good. Like, I was waiting. I was like, Sarah J Maas, like, you know what we're here for, give it to us. And she did indeed give it to us. She did not fail. I really enjoyed it, and it wasn't very long. I think that if you don't really like smut, it's not like overbearing with the smut or anything. Like, I'm telling you, it took 500 pages to get something. Like, she really was like building the relationship and things. And then the plot twist kicks in literally like page, I don't want to say exactly page 600, but around page 600, like around chapter 68 is when the first plot twist happens. I haven't been hit by another plot twist yet, but the plot twist was good. Like, I updated my Goodreads and I was like, fuck, and everybody was like, see, I told you. And I'm like, this is still a 3-star read to me, because I feel like the fact that it took 600 pages to get into it, and like, yeah, I know there's world building and blah 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 blah, but we'll see how I feel in the end. I just don't think it necessarily needed to be 800 pages. I think that this book could have at least been like 600 pages. And I understand the world building and all that stuff, but it was really like info dumpy at times, and like, it was just, I don't know. And I feel like she could have just made a novella with half of this stuff if she really wanted us, like, you know, like, I feel like it just does not need to be 800 pages, for my opinion. But I think that this vlog is interesting because I didn't join booktube having already read Sarah J Maas. I didn't grow up reading Sarah J Maas. I didn't read my first Sarah J Maas book until last year, so I'm not like a full die-hard Sarah J Maas stan. Yeah, I stan Sarah J Maas. I like her work. I did like Throne of Glass. I don't really care about ACOTAR. I like Throne of Glass a lot more. I haven't even finished Throne of Glass or ACOTAR, but I haven't finished Throne of Glass. But Queen of Shadows is like my favorite Sarah J Maas book. I think that she really did a good job in that book. I think that I personally don't really care about a lot of world building, and I do like world building, but when it's like overbearing and a lot, I'm kind of just like meh. So I think that this vlog is very interesting because it's coming from someone who doesn't necessarily like is a diehard Sarah J Maas stan, like somebody who doesn't 100% give all of her books 5 stars. Like, literally, Sarah J Maas has only gotten 1 5-star out of me. So I think that this vlog is like, will be very interesting, and I hope that people will like this vlog. And like, if you aren't a Sarah J Maas stan, it's like, you'll see, you know, where I'm coming from. And a lot of people are saying, like, if you already love Sarah J Maas's other work, you're absolutely gonna love this. Like, and I 100% agree. Like, if you're already a Sarah J Maas stan, you're gonna agree with this. Like, this is a very Sarah J Maas book, you know. But if you aren't a Sarah J Maas stan, I think that you could still enjoy this book. I don't think that you'll enjoy it as much as everyone else. And not saying like, oh, it's not like that amazing or anything, but like, I feel like you could enjoy it. You could give this book 5 stars, but for me personally, I see people who aren't Sarah J Maas stans giving this like a 4.5 star, maybe a 5 star, like, I don't know. But I'm not saying this book is absolutely terrible or anything like that, but I think that if you hadn't, I don't know how to explain it. And I don't want to explain it to the fact where it's pushing people off from reading it, because I don't think it's a bad book at all. And maybe it could just be me as a reader and the fact that I don't really care for a super amount of world building. That could be the issue here. I've been talking this entire time and haven't even been recording. So anyways, I enjoyed the last 200 pages a lot. It's a 4.5 star, not really a 5-star read. I think that the 500 pages of world building kind of took away from me personally, but I feel like if you're, like I was saying earlier, if you're a Sarah J Maas stan, you're gonna absolutely love this book. I think that if you're new to Sarah J Maas, you're probably gonna give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you don't really like a lot of world building like me, you'll probably give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think that if you love world building, you'll probably give this book 5 stars, even if you're a new Sarah J Maas fan or you haven't read Sarah J Maas before. But personally for me, I just felt like it was really slow, and like I didn't care about like the character. I cared about some of the characters, like Ruin. I really liked Ruin. I like Bryce. I like Hunt. I liked I cannot pronounce her name, but Lababa, something like that. I kept calling her Labaya in my head, so that's what we're gonna pretend like her name is. And okay, so I'm kind of gonna, it's not a spoiler for the book, but it is in the description and it is in the first 50 pages. But I kind of want you guys to go into this book not really knowing that, because I think that if you go into it not knowing that, it'll make the book a lot more better and enjoyable, and it'll hit you even harder. And I think that it'll keep you interested until, you know, I think that's another thing that took away from the book for me, was the fact that I knew what this big plot twist was because it's in the description. So I was preparing myself for it, like I said earlier, and then it happened and I didn't really care. And I think that knowing like that first plot twist happening would have kept me interested and I would have been liking it more, you know. But anyway, so when I put the book back up, that's when I'll like continue talking about the book. But I miss Danica. I miss Connor. Basically, in the description, it just says that these characters, her friends die. And, I mean, they do. And Danica is Bryce's best friend. And I personally miss her. I thought she was a really great character and we learned a lot about her, but I wish we learned more. Like I loved her more than I loved Bryce. Like I don't really care. Like I like Bryce. She's not really my all-time favorite character, but if we got more of Danica, I could see her being my favorite character. I would get Lighter Up Danica tattooed on me if I could. So yeah. So back to the book though. Yeah, so like I was saying, I enjoyed this book. It was a really good book. The ending, the last like 300 pages were very, very interesting. They were like it was like a wild ride, but I feel like it didn't need to take 800 pages for all of this to happen. Like I feel like she could have cut out like the first 500 pages and condemned it a lot, but it does make sense. Like a lot of things that happen in the book make sense to later, and like a lot of things that are exposed later, and a lot of foreshadowing, and a lot of things that like add up to happening later. And I thought that I was going to be very confused reading this book, which I mean I was sometimes. Like sometimes I would read this book and I would be like, who is this character? Are they new? And it would be like a character that had been there for a while, but I kind of just forgot because they didn't mention a lot. So I do want to suggest taking notes. Take notes on characters, all the characters that are introduced. Take notes on the characters, like even like villains and stuff. Take notes on the characters. I feel like you don't really need to put notes on like the plots or like anything like that, because, or like any facts or anything, because I think that like I understood that very well, but it's like there were a lot of characters that were exposed, and I mean I like books with a lot of characters, but there are a lot of characters that were exposed, and I felt like I was confused a lot with the characters, and I was confusing characters with other characters. I was like, who is this characters that weren't being brought up until a certain point, you know. So I feel like if you take notes on the characters, they should be like really good. But I think this was a really good book. Like I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5. I'm not giving it a full 5 star just because the world building really took away from me. I don't think I'm a really big fan of like extensive long world building. Like I don't mind world building, but when it's like a lot, I'm kind of just like meh. So yeah, but I really liked it. I enjoyed it, and I feel like the second book will probably be like a 5-star read for me, like a 5 out of 5 star. Like I feel like that'll be like one of my all-time favorite books. Like I really enjoyed this book. It ain't no Cruel Prince or nothing like that. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope that you like this vlog. I really want to continue vlogging for popular releases like this. This was like really, really fun, especially reading it with like other people on the timeline reading it, pretending we were buddy reading it. That's why I like when booktube on book Twitter, when we get like big releases, it just feels like one big buddy read for all of us. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you read it, leave your comments and opinions. If you haven't read it, let me know why not. Like, you know, just comment, let me know how you guys feel about this, and I'll see you guys in my next video.